So for the past few days, I wore the Samsung Galaxy Fit and the Fitbit Inspire HR on my wrist side by side. It did look stupid, I'll admit, but I was tracking and comparing these two so that I can make this video for you guys. So in this video, I'll be reviewing and comparing, like I said, the Samsung Galaxy Fit smartwatch to the Inspire HR, which was made by Fitbit. Both of them came out about the same time, just about a month or two ago, and both of them cost about $99. So both of them have very similar specs in a lot of ways. They track your heart rate, they get notifications from your phone, they track your sleep, and they do a lot more than that, and I'll talk about that later in this video. But which one is actually the better smartwatch for you, and are these actually offering the same package? How accurate are these smartwatches? I'll be answering those questions in this video, so let's get into it. So if you're new here and you have not yet subscribed, but you're interested in the newest tech reviews and tech experiments, be sure to go down and click the subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss the latest of my videos. So I ran these through a lot of different tests, and one that they actually both passed and was very impressive was the heart rate. And that was one that I was a little bit concerned with because the heart rate is probably one of the main reasons people are buying these. So when I wore them side by side, the heart rate between the two never really varied by more than 2 or 3 beats, except for one situation, and that is when I had the Galaxy Fit. Now when you wear the Galaxy Fit, you can do 3 different things with the settings on your phone. So one, of course, you can say it never reads your heart rate, which obviously we're not doing that, and the other one is when it reads it every 10 minutes, which seemed to be very accurate, and the last one was continuous reading. Now the Fitbit always does continuous reading. You can also turn it off to have no readings at all, but you're not going to have that 10-minute interval reading. So with this one, when you're doing the Galaxy Fit right here, when you're reading continuously, I did notice that every now and then if you bump it the wrong way, or I'm not really sure what was happening, but it would spike up to 170 beats per minute for no reason and then gradually go down. So this operates with a moving average to measure your heart rate, and for some reason it'll measure, a few too many beats at once, and that'll screw up the average for about a minute, where it'll spike up to like 170 and then you'll watch it come back down to normal. Now this is not something that happened often. It happened maybe once or twice a day. I would just look down at it and it would be way too high. For the most part, like I said, it was very accurate. So for that reason, between these two bands, I would have to give the trophy for heart rate to Fitbit, although I do really like the feature where you can measure only once every 10 minutes on this one, but that sort of relates more to battery life, which I'll talk about in a minute. Okay, so in broad daylight, we're just going to do a quick test to see how well you can see these two. And on the right, we have the Galaxy Fit, and on the left, we have the Fitbit. So just flip my wrist. You can see they're both on. You can easily see the Galaxy Fit. That's at brightness level 10 though, and it looks like you really can't see the Fitbit very well at all. It is on, I can see it, but the camera I don't think is picking that up. So yeah, it's right on. It's on right now. So just a quick underwater test. You can see these are both rated for 50 meters or about 5 atmospheres. When you take them out, again, you can't really see the Fitbit because it's so bright out, but they're both working just fine. So now in a very dark environment, you can see the Fitbit on the left is at the same brightness and the Galaxy Fit is at a very dim level right here. This is all the way down to setting number 1 for brightness. So again, you can see them both right there. This is also great when it's dark out and you're sleeping and you want to see what time it is, but you don't want to blind yourself with a bright light. It's nice to have a dim setting on this watch as well. So next I want to talk about the screens. Now you'll notice the Galaxy Fit does have a color screen while the Fitbit does not. It's black and white. The Fitbit also has a much lower quality screen, so it's a little harder to read some of these smaller numbers on there, whereas the Galaxy Fit seems to have a very crisp and clear screen. You can also adjust the brightness on the Galaxy Fit. So when it comes to screen, I think the trophy absolutely goes to the Galaxy Fit, which has a superior screen for a lot of different reasons. So next I want to talk about the aesthetics and the comfort of these. I'm sort of bundling those together just as a general design for these. And so you'll notice that the Fitbit is significantly smaller on the corners right there. You have sort of a round instead of those sharp corners. So it is more slim and sleek. When you put it on your wrist, it's less noticeable. And overall, I would say it's more comfortable, even though they're both approximately the same materials and the same, the same rubberish kind of band. The comfort is not bad on either of these, don't get me wrong. But I would say the Fitbit is slightly smaller and has a slight advantage there. Also, the buckles are something that I noticed. So the Fitbit has a traditional belt buckle type of, or watch buckle really. It's kind of the same thing where, it has that little pin right there and it fastens very normally, where the Galaxy Fit sort of has a sort of, I guess, molded in piece right there with some slightly harder plastic on the end. And the way it goes is when you put it on your wrist, you'll snap it into a little hole, and then you'll feed the end through the hole right there. Now, what I really don't like about this is when you put it on, you think you find, a proper tightness for this, and then when you feed this down, because you're adding more rubber on the inside of the loop, it ends up being tighter than you expected. So you sort of have to guess. You put it on, it's too tight, and then you loosen it by one dot, and then you tighten it again. And it's a little bit more inconvenient. Also, I was whitewater rafting with this last week, and it almost fell off my wrist. For some reason, that little thing comes out every now and then it can easily slide, and the whole thing will come off your wrist. So for that reason, I would say the Fitbit wins this one and has a better aesthetic and comfort overall in comparison to the Galaxy Fit, although neither of them are bad, and they're both very, very comfortable. Next, I want to talk about the batteries on both of these. So the Galaxy Fit does have a battery that is supposed to last about 7 days, while the Fitbit only lasts about 5 days. So that one seems fairly obvious that the Galaxy Fit would be winning. And on top of that, the Galaxy Fit also has a more customizable usage of battery, in my opinion, because like I said, you can change the brightness, and you can also change the heart rate to have an interval of maybe every 10 minutes it'll read your heart rate rather than a continuous heart rate. Next up, I want to talk about the exercises on these. Now, of course, if you buy one of these, hopefully you are working out. They are a fitness watch after all. So the Galaxy Fit has over 90 different workouts in the app, and then you can put 10 of them onto the watch. And furthermore, if you press and hold the button on the side, it'll instantly jump right into whatever your main preset is. Right now, mine is running. So if I want to go for a run, I just press and hold that. It starts my run, and it tracks my run on the watch. Now, you can also track it. If you start within the app, it'll track on your watch as well as on the phone. And that's typically the way I do it, so you can use GPS. But one drawback is that when you press and hold this, it doesn't automatically use the GPS on your phone. Now, the Fitbit, on the other hand, only has 15 different exercises in the app, and you can preset 6 of them to show up on your watch. So not nearly as many exercises as you have on the Galaxy Fit. Now, the Galaxy Fit does have some ridiculous ones, like there is yachting and things like that I don't really know that everyone's going to need. You can probably estimate just like an other or a general one that would, take on anything else, but nonetheless, they do have a lot of workouts there. So one of the good things about the Fitbit, though, is that if your phone is nearby, it does have connected GPS. So if you're starting your workout from the Fitbit, it will track it on your phone, and it works very well and integrates smoothly between the app and your phone. So between these two devices, this is actually a tough one for the fitness, and while I really do like the connected GPS on the Fitbit, I think what I like more is having a large selection of exercises and the quick shortcut to start a run right away in case you just go full Forrest Gump mode and just want to start running. So some of the exercises are more obscure, like I said, but it is nice to have like backpacking or kayaking or boxing, all these different workouts that might be a little bit more obscure that you still want to track with your watch. It is nice to do that with the Galaxy Fit. So just a word of caution, I would not trust these step trackers on these quite as much as you might hope to, because I wore these on different wrists for the entire day, and at the end of the day, they gave me very different numbers for how many steps I took in that day. Now, just for day-to-day use, this might not be a big deal, but if you're somebody looking for precision when you're walking or exercising, you might want to have something with GPS involved so you're not basing it on a pedometer like these are using. So getting into the interfaces of these, I think this is really where the Galaxy Fit starts to pull ahead in the lead and starts to really win between these two watches. Now, just starting from the watch face right here, if you go up, what you'll see is this is where you get all your settings and your shortcuts, and this is really what I like about this watch. So first of all, there's your brightness. You can change your brightness very easily, but it also tells you the battery level right there. It tells you when you're connected to your phone. It also, by the way, connects with Bluetooth 5.0, while the Inspire HR is only 4.0. So should be a better range with this as well. As we're going over across there is water mode. So if you're in underwater mode, that means while you're swimming, this won't accidentally have any touch features going on. And the button, the button is the way to turn that off. So you don't have to worry about the screen turning on or anything weird happening when you're underwater in a swim. On the bottom, then you'll see right there, the little magnifying glass with the phone. As you could probably guess, that means find your phone, which is an amazing feature in my opinion. So I lose my phone all the time. I can't tell you how much I lose my phone, and I ask people to call it, and it's really annoying because I leave my phone on silent as well. So what this does right here is when your phone is lost, and even if it's on silent, you can hit this button right there, and as long as you are in range, which Bluetooth 5.0 should be pretty far, you can go and find your phone. It'll do it just like this. So when you press it, your phone will just start ringing. then you can go and find your phone. Very easy to do. And on the flip side, when you're in the app, you can actually find your watch because it'll just start vibrating when you go to find my watch within the Galaxy Wear app. Lastly, as we go over, there is like a silent mode, which essentially means don't vibrate. None of these make sound, they only vibrate. So that means don't vibrate. And then the last one is night mode, which is nice so that it doesn't light up every time you roll over at night. Now, the Fitbit Inspire does have some similar-ish features, so it does have a feature where you don't have auto wake, which is basically the same as night mode for that one, and it also has the no notifications like the muted mode. So other than that, I think the interface for at least settings, Galaxy Fit absolutely wins for this one. And then also the interfaces are fairly similar, but it seems like you can get more widgets on the Galaxy Fit. So within the app, there are dozens of different widgets you can put in here, from tracking your caffeine to tracking your weight and all kinds of different things, tracking your calories, that you can just have it all on your watch. It also has the weather and also your calendar events. A lot more on this watch than you might expect. When it comes to notifications, then I think the Galaxy Fit really wins this one as well. So even though getting a text, you will see notifications on both of these, when you're using the Fitbit, as soon as you look at it and tap the button or do anything, that notification totally disappears. On the Galaxy Fit, there is actually a notifications thing, so swiping left brings you to your notifications, and you can see all your notifications there. You can also have quick responses, so if you get a text on here, you can reply right from your watch without having to pick up your phone. You'll have maybe 6 or 7 different preset, replies that you can define in the app, and then they'll just pop up here, and you can send I think I send a thumbs up or a smiley face or something. So some key different features here. The Galaxy Fit does have stress tracking, while the Inspire does not, but on the flip side, the Inspire has something that admittedly I totally overlooked and I have not tested, partially because I cannot test this on myself at least, and that is female tracking. So if you are a girl or a woman or a female and you want to track your cycle, it might make sense to be getting the Fitbit Inspire. As far as sleep tracking goes, I did use both of these and I slept with them both on the same wrist just to see what it would actually read, and the sleep cycles did look a little bit different. They had different numbers for how long I was in deep sleep, how long I was in REM, how long I was in light sleep, and how long I was awake. So just a word of caution, I can't really decide based on these two samples which one is more accurate, of course, but I will say that there is a difference and it's important to note that. So guys, which is actually the better watch? I think the breakdown is, I think the Samsung Galaxy Fit has a better interface, and overall, if you're looking for a sort of entry smartwatch, I think this is definitely the one to get. If you are looking for female tracking, or if you're looking for guided breathing, if you're looking for connected GPS, I think the Fitbit is really nice. It also is very small, and they're obviously both small, but I would say the Fitbit is a little bit more sleek. So if you're looking for something to track your heart rate throughout the day and be relatively discreet, if you don't plan on looking at it that much and you just want to track, your sleep and stuff like that, the Fitbit might be the way to go. And again, the other thing is compatibility. So if you have a Samsung, it's a no-brainer to go with the Galaxy Fit. If you don't have a Samsung, you may still want to go with the Galaxy Fit, but you will need 2 different apps. So you have the Galaxy Wear and the Samsung Health app, whereas the Fitbit only uses one single app. So which one do you guys like better? Comment down below and let me know which one you like better and why. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.